Look up into the sky. Almost every airplane you see is white. You accept this as normal. Maybe you think it is just beautiful, or that it is a tradition. That is not true. The color white is not a designer's choice. It is a hard engineering decision. This is one of the most important secrets of safety and savings in all of aviation. An airplane is an incredibly complex machine, and every single gram, every single degree, and every minute of maintenance cost huge amounts of money. If airlines could save money, they would paint the planes any other color, but they cannot. Why? Because white is part of the safety system. It is part of a huge financial formula. Refusing the color white could cost a company millions of dollars. It could even put passenger lives at risk. We will uncover 4 invisible reasons why the color white won. You will understand how simple paint protects the plane from overheating. You will learn why white makes deadly cracks easier to spot, and how this color helps the plane keep its value. Your brain always looks for an explanation, but in the case of airplanes, the hidden logic is much more interesting than it seems. We will start with the most important reason dictated by physics. Mechanism 1. Thermodynamics. Thermal regulation. The first reason is sunlight. An airplane is a very large metal machine, and it spends most of its time under the direct rays of the sun. It stands on hot tarmac, or it flies high in the sky, where the ultraviolet radiation is very strong. When sunlight hits an object, it either reflects or it absorbs. Think about what you wear in the summer. If you wear a black shirt, you will feel very hot. Black absorbs heat and light. If you wear a white shirt, you will be cooler. White reflects light. Airplanes need to reflect sunlight as much as possible. White is the best reflector. It works like a perfect sun shield. If the plane were dark, for example, black or dark blue, it would absorb too much heat. This heat creates 2 big problems. Problem number 1. The fuselage. The body of the plane is made of metal. If the metal gets too hot, it expands. The constant heating and cooling when the plane takes off and lands leads to thermal stress. This can cause micro cracks on the body. Finding and fixing these cracks is very hard. White keeps the fuselage temperature more stable. It protects the metal from excessive overheating and direct UV radiation. This makes the plane safer and extends its service life. Problem number 2. The cabin. The cabin is an enclosed space. If the plane stands on the tarmac on a hot day, dark paint would heat the cabin to very high temperatures. The airlines would have to spend huge amounts of energy and fuel to cool the plane before the flight. White reduces the temperature inside the plane by several degrees immediately. This saves fuel and maintenance time. So, white is not about looking good. It is about physics and coolness. It is about protecting the metal and passengers from the heat stress of the sun. Mechanism 2. Maintenance and safety. An airplane is a machine that is constantly under huge pressure. The metal gets tired. There is always a risk of microcracks appearing on the body, especially around the fasteners and wings. There is also always a risk of leaking technical fluids: oil, hydraulic fluid, fuel. These leaks can lead to a disaster. Therefore, after every flight, technicians must check every inch of the plane very quickly and very accurately. This is where white color comes in. White is the ideal damage indicator. It gives the highest contrast. Cracks. A crack is basically a dark line or shadow on the body. Against a white background, even the thinnest crack is visible to the naked eye. If the plane is painted a dark color, like blue or gray, the crack might simply blend in with the paint and go unnoticed. Leaks. Hydraulic fluid often has a red or purple tint. Oil is brown or black. Exhaust fumes leave black soot. All these potentially deadly leaks immediately stand out on a flawless white surface. On a colored body, a leak might be noticed too late. Thus, white is not aesthetic. It is part of the inspection. It allows technicians to see the problem in seconds, which is crucial under tight flight schedules. The faster a crack or leak is found, the faster the plane is repaired, and the faster it returns to service. The second part of safety. White helps with bird strikes. Statistics show that white planes are more visible against the sky and clouds. This gives birds a fraction of a second to change trajectory, which, while not a cure-all, is a factor that increases overall flight safety. So, white is not only protection from heat, but also a reliable helper for technicians and the first line of defense in the safety system. Mechanism 3. Economics, weight, and resale. In aviation, one golden rule applies. Weight is money. The heavier the plane, the more fuel it burns, the more money the airline spends. You might think that paint weighs nothing, but an airplane is a very large surface. All the paint on a large passenger liner can weigh up to 1,200 pounds. That is roughly the weight of 5 or 6 passengers plus their luggage. If an airline chose a dark, complex color, it would have to apply more layers of paint, and every extra layer is extra weight. White is the lightest and simplest color. It often serves as the base. It requires fewer layers. This means the plane weighs less, and it saves fuel on every flight. This savings adds up to millions of dollars over years of operation. The second and most important economic factor is resale. Planes rarely stay with one company their entire life. Airlines often lease or sell planes after several years. When a plane transfers to a new owner, it must be quickly repainted in the new company's colors. Imagine, if the plane was dark red, to repaint it blue, you would first have to completely strip all the old paint. This process is called stripping. Stripping is a very long, complex, and expensive process. It can take up to 2 weeks and cost up to $200,000 per plane. If the plane is white, the new company can simply apply its logos, stripes, and decals over the white base. This is much faster, and it is much cheaper. White is a universal base that preserves the plane's high price during resale. Conclusion: logic defeated aesthetics. The takeaway: so, the next time you see a plane flying high in the sky, you will know the truth. You will know that its white color is not just paint. It is a complex engineering decision that protects the plane from many problems. Let's quickly review the 4 main reasons. Thermodynamics. White reflects light. It protects the fuselage from thermal stress. Safety. White provides contrast. It allows technicians to see micro cracks and leaks. Weight and economics. White paint is the lightest. It saves fuel and reduces repainting costs. Resale. White is a universal base, which keeps the plane's market value high. In the world of aviation, there are no random decisions. Every bolt, every system, and every color is the result of cold, strict logic. Aesthetics always yields to efficiency, safety, and financial benefit. We have found that white is the most important hidden feature of the airplane. This is more proof that the world is not as we remember it. It is far more complex and logical.